This very simple IM might be one of the best tuned IM for around $15. So hello and welcome to Aftersound Review, and this is my review for KZ Linglong or Linglong. It's kind of confusing. In the box it said Linglong, but if you search it on the internet, almost everywhere it is written as Linglong. I don't know which one is correct, but by the way, this IM costs only around $15 and using a single dynamic driver, and for the shape it's almost like I'm back to few years back, because instead of using an over-ear, which is the now popular kind of design, it's using a simple straight down design. And just like usual, I will break down this review from the build, fit, frequency response, sound, and comparison. There's not a lot of things to say about the build quality. It's just straight up aluminum body. It's all made of aluminum alloy, and yeah, it's pretty much very simple. It's boat-like, and it has also this vent hole around its back area. The cable is non-detachable, and yeah, it's fairly nice, but other than that, there's nothing noteworthy. Now, regarding the ergonomics of this IM, well, it's pretty much straightforward, just like usual earphone. Well, but I have to note this though, even though I've tried a lot of ear tips with this Linglong, I always feel there's some kind of pressure that I feel between the driver and also my ears. So there's always this kind of crackling sound. That's because of this driver flex happen inside. So yeah, I know driver flex might not happen with a lot of people, but at least with my friends and me tried this Linglong, I always feel that there's a driver flex, and also my friends who have tried them, most of them feels the same issue as well. Now, regarding the sound of this very simple IM, well, its tuning is just amazing for the price. Well, if you're using IF neutral 23 as your target, you may say that this IM can be categorized as neutral with bass boost. And even the bass is fairly extended nicely, so yeah, it's a very well tuned IM. Starting from the bass, it's a very well controlled bass that goes stiff, but it's not a really thick and bass head kind of sound that you will find in this IM. But at this price point, when I hear a nicely extended sub bass, for me that is something special, and that's exactly what I feel from this IM. At least when I'm hearing a lot of music, whether it's pop, it's rock, or it's EDMs, I always feel that the bass is just enough with good quality that goes really well with extended sub bass. But maybe this is not for bass head. For some EDM music, I do feel that if I'm a bass head, I will crave for more mid bass and more punch in the mid bass area. But personally, for me, the bass is just very well tuned. Now, what can I say about the mid-range? The tuning of this IM is, it's close to neutral, at least if you're using IF neutral as your target, which is actually close to my preference. This IM has a really well-tuned mid-range, whether it's vocal for female or for male, whether I'm using them for instruments like piano and guitar, always sounds natural, and I don't have any complaints around the mid-range area. It just maybe because of the driver is cheap, that the resolution and also the details of the pronunciation of the words feels kind of blurred, but never mind about that, because the tuning is actually the main star of this IM. The tuning is just so well balanced that I really have no problem with balancing of the mid-range, where upper mid-range and lower mid-range sounds beautiful. And I never get fatigue when I'm using them for extended period of time. Well, I categorize the treble of this IM is just enough. Just enough sparkle to feel that this IM is not a dark IM, and just enough extension to make it sounds not dull. But in terms of extension and upper airiness around the upper treble area, well, it doesn't get that. You just get just enough kind of treble here. Now, simply said, for $15, a neutral tuning with sub bass boost, it's just remarkable at this price point. At least for the price, it is simply the best tonal balance that I've ever tried. But honestly, the price cannot lie. if we are talking about resolution and overall technicality, well, this IM feels rather kind of average, or maybe a little well below average if you're comparing them with some more extended treble IMs like the CCACRA. This IM simply feels more blurred in imaging focus and also details. So the technicality isn't actually its biggest point. The sound stage is fairly small as well. So if you're looking for technical, this is not the one you should looking for. Now let's compare them with the CCACRA. Well, this is the second or the newer batch of the CCACRA. I still find that the CCACRA has somehow one of the best resolution regarding the price point, but in terms of tonal balance, I do find that the CCACRA is simply sound thinner, more V-shaped, more striking, and also more fatiguing if I'm using them for a long period of time. While this Linglong, even though it's not as good in terms of technicality as the CCACRA, but I find that the tuning of this IM is much better and easier to listen for a longer period of time. Now comparing them with the KKZ HBB, well, I would say that the KKZ HBB is more L-shaped kind of tuning with more bassier mid-bass, bigger mid-bass. It's also boomier and also slower in terms of bass speed, and with more subdued upper mid-range, making it simply sounds more L-shaped with overall warmer presentation. Well, the KKZ HBB simply sounds, yeah, it's warmer, it's thicker, it sounds fuller, but sometimes for some songs it sounds too muddy. It sounds not open enough. The vocal is just a little bit buried under that mid-bass presence, while this Linglong is, again, it is more balanced. The vocal presence sounds sounds better and also more balanced with better control in the bass region. So for my final thought, I would say that this IM is simply the best tuned IM for $15 price point, but it's not free from issues. Especially I always get a little bit annoyed with that driver flex whenever I use them, and also that technical level that I would say that, yeah, it's just according to its price point, it's not really technical. And that's all I could say about this IM, and overall this is my final score for its tonal and also its technical. Overall, still a really good job KZ for providing such a tuning at this price point.